My name is Nidhi Chiller, and in this video, I'll be discussing about the case Kakumanu Pedusubaya versus Kakumanu Akama. Before moving on to the case, let us consider the factual background of the case. The original suit for the partition of joint family properties was instituted by the maternal grandfather, Rangayya, on behalf of the minor, Kakumanu Romanna, who was about 2.5 years on the date on which the suit for partition was filed in the court of the district Munsif Ongole. While the proceedings were pending before the court, the minor plaintiff died, and this is when his mother was recorded as his legal representative. Now let us consider who are defendants and plaintiffs in the present case with the help of a family tree. In this case, father was the defendant number 1. D1 has 2 wives, W1, that is wife number 1 and wife number 2. D1 has begotten 2 sons from wife number 1, S1 and S2, defendant number 2 and defendant number 3 respectively. Wife number 2 was originally recorded as defendant number 4 in the original petition. However, when S3, that is the son begotten from wife number 2, S3 here is the plaintiff number 1, that is the minor, and wife number 2 is the mother of S3, that is the minor. When S3 died, wife number 2 was recorded as legal representative and also the plaintiff number 2. The daughter of D1 from wife number 2 was defendant number 5 in the present case. There were 2 main issues that the court dealt in the present case. Number 1, that there were concurrent findings by both the courts below that the suit was not instituted for the benefit of the minor. So here the question was, can the High Court reverse the decision on second appeal? And number 2, whether the suit for partition was abated by reason of the death of the minor because it was heard and decided. Now, on the first issue, the court held that the issue was completely the matter of a fact. And after considering all the evidence in the case, it was held by the Supreme Court that the partition was for the benefit of the minor, and thereby it has upheld the High Court's judgment. On the second issue, the contentions of the appellant were that whenever the minor plaintiff dies before the court adjudicates on the question of the benefit to him, that is whether the partition is for the benefit of the minor or not, and if it dies before that, he dies as an undivided co-partner, and thus his interest in the Hindu undivided family is not severed, and thus his interest in the property survives to the other co-partners, and it will not devolve on his heirs by inheritance, meaning thereby that the interest will go on to the other co-partners by survivorship, and it cannot devolve on his heirs by inheritance. Now the contentions of the respondents were that the suit for partition on behalf of the minor effects a severance in status from the date of the suit. That is, the severance of the status of the minor is on the date when the suit was filed before the court, and not when the court adjudicates on the issue whether it was for the benefit of the minor or not. Now, in this case, the Supreme Court held that it is the action of the person acting on behalf of the minor that brings about a division in status. That is, the person who is acting on behalf of the minor and filing a suit in the court, it is that action which the court is recognizing, and it is that action which brings about the severance of the status. The Supreme Court held that what brings about the severance status is the action of the next friend in instituting the suit. the decree of the court merely rendering it effective by deciding that what the next friend has done is for the benefit of the minor. Meaning thereby the court held that the court is merely making the effective the severance of the status of the minor by deciding whether the suit filed by the next friend was for the benefit of the minor or not. That is, the severance of status is from the date when the suit for the partition was filed, and not when the court adjudicates whether the partition was for the benefit of the minor or not. Now, analyzing the case, the Supreme Court judgment in the case has settled the law on the issue, on which there has been divergence of judicial opinion. There were different judicial opinion on the present issue. For example, in Chalemi Chetty versus Subhamma, Shri Mahadevji Birajman and Hari Singh versus Pritam Singh, it was held that when a suit for partition is filed on behalf of a minor plaintiff, there is a division of status only if and when the courts decide and it is for the benefit and passes a decree. That is wherein in these cases, in following cases, it was held that the division in status is only when the court decided, that is when the court has adjudicated, only then the minor severes his status, and not when the suit was filed before the court. However, the decisions in Rangasai versus Nagathamma versus Fakir Chand versus Ramchand lay down that when such a suit is decreed, the severance status relates back to the date of the institution of the suit. That is, in these cases, it was held that the status relates back to the date of this institution of the suit. That is, the severance is when the suit was filed and not when the court adjudicates on the issue. And the same has been recognized in the present case as well. Thus, the Supreme Court by its decision has settled the law which was earlier ambiguous. The judgment of the Supreme Court was later followed in several cases which are mentioned as under like Laki Reddy China versus L. Laxmanna, Krishna Bai versus A.T. Nibalkar, and further recently in Kalyani by legal representatives versus Narayan and others. Thank you.